welcome, welcome, welcome. Come in, come in, come in. This is Tamika's Den. I am Tamika. This is RapShit, y'all. Okay, something for the hood, season 1, episode 3. So, guys, we started out this episode and we just seeing this party going on. All right, we got what Guap Dad 4000. He's at this party. He's showing, going live. Okay, because everything with this is done basically streaming and stuff like that. And he's showing these people at the party, they throwing money. You got strippers dancing. You got some people that's passed out. You got other people that's sitting and eating. All different kind of stuff going on, right? One guy that he comes up to and he's showing him dancing. He like, yo, get that damn camera out my face. I don't like, nobody checking for me or whatever. And I don't want to be seen all the time or whatever, right? He just trying to go ahead and enjoy himself. Right, other people playing games. You got homegirl, Duke coming through. She talking about how she is the one that gets everybody what they need. She's like, I got the drugs. She getting them the drinks and all of that kind of stuff, right? And the so-called promoter. And so they partying down hard, having a funky good time, right? And when the party is over, you basically see her coming up saying, yo, y'all look like y'all, had fun. Everything went good. Y'all enjoyed yourself. They like, oh, hell yeah, you did that. You came through. We appreciate you. So they was like, she's seeing him counting up all this money. She like, you look like y'all had a good night. Like y'all made some good bread. He like, yep. She was like, you the manager, right? So he like, yeah. So she was like, good, 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 cool. So she was like, I know, y'all gonna look out. So he talking about, of course, next time we come through. And he was like, you seen Gob, he's a real one, he had it out or whatever the case may be. And she's saying, y'all got everything squared away for tonight. And he's like, yeah, but he talking about something next time we in town, we gonna look out. I said, oh no, girl, we don't do stuff for free, honey. She just sitting there looking at him, and she gonna talk about some, tell Guap we said bye. So she did all of that and didn't even make any money off of it, essentially. So I was like, oh no, girl, we don't play that. But needless to say, now she driving home. And I guess she lives, with her uncle or whatever the case may be. So when she gets to the house, she sees these girls coming out, right? And the girls are just saying, it's hot as hell in here. We gonna go and ride around in the car for a while so that we could get some air. So she like, oh man. So when she go inside, she's basically like, saying, ooh, goddamn, it's real hot in here or whatever, and it's probably smelling funky or whatever the case may be. And her uncle was like, I know you not coming in here and talking about some, ooh, and she was like, well, damn, what happened in here? And he gonna tell her she's smelling like balls. And she was like, I know you ain't got the nerve to say that when this house smells like hot ass and you just sitting in it. So he was like, what you said? I can't hear you. And she was like, nothing. And she was like, damn, man, this one worse than an aquarium or something like that, right? So he gonna say, while you here, we gotta talk because you gotta cover this month's rent. So she was like, I've been gone for 2 weeks. How the hell you gonna be asking me to cover this month's rent? And he was like, things is real slow, so it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to do what you gotta do. And she was like, well, if business has been slow for you, what the hell you think it's been for me? So he's basically like, look, that ain't my problem, okay? You gonna have to go ahead and, get what you gotta get. He was like, all the stuff that I taught you, you should be way further than what you are anyway. And you should be, pretty much set and living good right now. So she was like, yeah, you taught me so much. You living the high life here, right? And looking around. And he was like, oh, you must have forgot that I didn't charge you anything for like 2 months. The first 6 months when you was here, right? So then she's like, all right. She was like, if I pay the rent, are you at least getting the damn air fixed? So he talking about something. I'm going to tell you like I tell my bitches, I don't negotiate with bitches. And then she go and sit down and she had her foot up on the table. And he basically was like, yo, get your damn feet off my table. Show some respect. So she just looking like, the whole table had nothing but trash all over it anyway. I guess she just was like, so she talking about something, that's why you drowning. And he started laughing and he was like, I am drowning. So next thing you know, we see Lamont. And he chilling with his daughter or whatever. And he got her watching daggone Scarface. She over here talking about some say hello to my little friend. And he recording her. And he put in daddy duties. So I was happy to see him with his daughter. But I'm like, really, Lamont? Because I didn't know you know, especially with the way this show is going and how they spend a lot of time on social media. And when we saw him that last episode, it was mostly with her talking to him, you know, through lives and stuff like that, and FaceTime or whatever the case may be. You know, even when she went to the school, he was talking to her that way. So even though he did send the $4,000, which was good, I wasn't too sure whether we was ever going to see him actually in person with her. So we do see that he's hanging out with her now. I don't know how long he was hanging out with her, because in the mix of that, he posting up the video saying daddy duties. And, you know, his mom ends up coming in the living room where they at. And she's like, why you got this girl, you know, watching that movie? That's not a movie for her, whatever the case may be. That's not for kids. She shouldn't be sending, you know, seeing stuff like that. And he ended up asking his mom after he get this text messages like, you know, oh, you know, can you watch her for a minute? I got a session in an hour. So she's like, of course, no problem. She was like, she could come with me to the store. And his daughter looked over it, okay? She don't look like she want to go with grandma to the store. You know, she wanted to be with daddy. So he's sitting down and he's like, I'm sorry. He was like, I got to work, all right? I got to make this money, but I'll be right back, you know, and I'll make it up to you. So she say, okay. So when he come outside, he comes to where his car's supposed to be at. And it ain't nothing there. He's standing around looking, and he like, I know God darn well. He like, what the hell? You got to be freaking kidding me. Like, what? And I know how that feels. So the neighbor from across, you know what I'm saying, the lawn or whatever, across the road, he end up yelling to him like, that was your car that was right there? And he was like, yeah. He's like, you looking for your car? He was like, oh, wow, they came and told that early this morning. He was like, they kept circling around the block. And he said, had I known it was yours, I would have said something, but I didn't know. So then he go running back inside the house, you know, and he just like, shit. So we see this guy, I think his name was Maurice. He taking out a bunch of mail or whatever from the mailbox. And then he go ahead and get in the car with, you know, I guess it's one of his friends. I don't know if they related or what. But he get in there and he's like, you know, basically like, yo, like, yeah, we ready and all that kind of stuff. And they say they about to go handle this business. And he basically was asking for something to open up the mail with. And he was like, use your nails. And he was like, I can't, I cut them. And so we see that basically they got a whole bunch of, I guess, credit cards or whatever that's coming in the mail, right? And at the same time, he get a call. And it is basically Sean calling him. And he's saying, you miss me. And she's like, my faucet is broken or whatever. And so he's like, oh, word. He was like, she was like, yeah, it's dripping. And so she's like, I need you to come and fix this. So he was like, oh, okay. He was like, all right, well, you know, she tells him she going to be heading home after her shift. So he was like, okay, I got you later. So, you know, then he basically laughing with his friend or whatever. And they go ahead and they drive off and they just say that they ready to do this shit. So basically we get, you know, Lamont, no, I'm sorry. Before that, we get Duke, right? She's coming over to this strip place and she's asking him how he did. You know, at the end of the day, she, like I said, basically, you know, considers herself to be a promoter and somebody that puts everybody on, tells everybody where to go to party. And I guess this is how she's making her bread. So she asking the guy how he did last night, and he was like, yeah, the line was wrapped around the block. The fire department almost shut me down. She's like, I know my boy Ben Simmons came through, and he, you know what I'm saying, hooked y'all up and had to spend money. He was like, yeah, he was throwing money and all this stuff. We got this girl trying out to be a stripper on the stage or whatever. And she was like, well, she was like, that's why you need me here all week. You got these other lame ass promoters and I could be bringing you way more business. So then he gonna start counting money and he's like, here you go, this is 10%. And when she counted, she like, man, what the F? She like, this ain't even nothing. You telling me, you know, they made it rain. She like, this ain't even a sprinkle. So he was like, well, he only got 2 bottles in his section and that's basically your cut. So she was like, this some bull crap. So it's like, not only did she not make money at the party, but now she ain't make money off of this either. So he telling her she ain't the only one that he got to pay. And then he told the girl that's on the stage, like, all right, I'll be in touch. You could go ahead. You did great. So then Duke was asking, like, you going to hire her? He was like, hell no. You know, basically laughing or whatever. So when she go in the back, you know, she over here trying to say to the girl, like, yo, you did real good out there. He's a dummy if he don't hire you. She's like, you know, I might have some side work for you if you interested or whatever. And you looking for some extra cash. So she asked her for her phone. And she put her phone number in there and was like telling her to hit her up. So the two chicks that's in the back room start telling her, like, yo, have you heard that song that Mia and Sean did? Like, it's good, okay? They did their thing up there. She was like, they really not playing. They serious about it. So she like, oh, word. She like, let me see what's going on with this or whatever. So she started listening to whatever, and she like, wow, she rapping, she's good too. One of the other girls was saying, I can't even hate on her. You know what I'm saying? She was like, in her eyebrows and stuff be looking right. So she was like, I got to keep it real. And so she's like, I guess now she ain't going to be doing none of that other stuff. And she is smart. She was like, I can't hate her. She on her Cardi B shit. So, she like, yo, play that again. So I guess she's starting to have an idea that she probably could be some type of promoter or something for them. Then we see, Lamar, and he's calling up this guy. He's basically like, yo, what's up, boy? He was like, ain't shit chilling. He was like, I really been trying to, get this invoice sent over, and I ain't heard nothing back. He basically needs more money. And so they say he and, oh, well, they be moving slow. He was like, he heard the music he sent in his flyer. So he's like, yeah, but about that invoice though. And he was like, look, I ain't heard nothing. He tells him it's been about 3 months. Then the guy said to him, sometimes it could take up to 3 years. He asking if there's somebody else he could call. He's like, yeah, you probably could call back, but I don't think that's going to make you get it any quicker. So apparently Lamont behind ain't know this, okay? He's thinking he was going to be getting some money now. He over here talking about, can he get advance? And the guy was like, you talking to the wrong person, and basically hung up the phone on him. And I guess whatever money they already gave him is what he went and spent, remember, on that watch, jewelry, whatever, and then he gave Mia the $4,000. So he don't got nothing left now. So he ends up going to the daggone pawn shop to pawn the watch that he did get. So I'm like, oh, Lord Lamont, like, you should have known not to just go and spend up no daggone money like that. But I guess he didn't. I guess this is a lesson learned, for him. So when he's coming out, he's counting up the money or whatever, he get a call from his mother. And then, she's saying, like, your baby want to talk to you. So, of course, his daughter get on the phone, and she's basically like, when you coming, Daddy? And he's like, I'm going to be there soon. Then his mother get on the phone, and she's like, what are you doing? I got to get ready to get out of here, whatever. She was like, I know you don't be wanting no help from me, but if you know that, you really need the help or whatever the case may be, I will help you. And she was like, something about her pastor had even told her about a job if he's interested in it. So she told him to take this number down. And so he was like, all right. And he took the number down. But, we don't know if he's going to call, because obviously he's thinking that he was just going to go ahead and make this money from his business, and that was going to be that. So then he texts the baby mom and tell her to bring a car seat. So the next thing you know, we seeing Maurice and his friend in the store just buying up all different kind of, PlayStations, different game systems, blenders, and everything you could think of, okay? The total came up to like more than $5,000 and change. And they overhear her when this lady in front of them is buying something with her credit card. She asked for ID. So they looking at each other like, what? I don't know if they wasn't expecting her to ask for ID, or they never asked for ID before. I don't know. But they buying up all this stuff and they don't have the ID. So basically he tries to do a diversion where he's like, yo, did we get this? Did we get that? Now let me double check and make sure. She's like, I'm pretty sure you did. That was the first things I scanned. And he's like, yeah, but I just want to make sure. I don't want us to be charged twice, and I don't want my aunt to be mad at me because she's taking a flight tonight. And, he basically ends up holding up the line and looking for all this different stuff. And then the next thing he basically puts the card, through. And she's like, all right, well, it went through. And at this point, she want to just go ahead and get to the other customers. So they basically end up just getting to go past. She was like, all right, thank you. And, they got out of there like that. So I was like, I don't know how long, that's going to be able to work or last. So obviously we see that they boosters and they do this stuff with these credit cards. And so then Mia comes, and she's basically outside waiting for him to come out to get the car seat from her. And she's asking him, like, what's good? Why don't you just buy another car seat? What's happening? Do you need me to drive you there and all of this kind of stuff? And he's like, nah, I got it. He was like, I'm good. And she was like, well, then how the hell you going to, be able to get around with her? He was like, well, how do other people get around that don't have cars? And she was like, a Uber. He was like, exactly. So she was like, well, what the heck is going on with your money? Why you don't have no more money? He was like, because I gave it all to you. She was like, you gave it all to me? What's wrong with you, stupid? Why would you do that? So you know, he was basically like, what choice did I have? I had to. You was already saying that you was, you know, behind in bills and rent and all of that. So when he comes outside, she was like, you know, I'm not gonna lie, I've always seen how serious you were with your music. She was like, even though, you know, it might have been different, or I might have looked at things differently when we was together, I did always see that and respect that, or whatever, how hard you went for it, and I see how hard you trying. So he was like, oh, are you trying to basically say you proud of me or something like that? So she tells him she's going to give him the money to get his car out. And then he's like, nah, I can't let you do that. He was like, I don't want nobody giving me no hands outs. And she tells him it's not a hands out. She basically was like, you know, me and Sean did this song together, whatever, and it's pretty good. But I actually would like to know if you could listen to it, you know, and if you maybe even could possibly be like a producer on it or whatever. So he's like, you know, word. He was like, yeah, because I see you out here rapping or whatever. When was you going to tell me about that? And she was like, well, you don't tell me everything either. And so, you know, it looked like they was basically having a little bonding moment, and they was on the same page or whatever. And he had told her, okay, cool. Yeah, he'll, you know, he'll see what he could do. He'll come and listen to it. So I was like, all right, looks like they trying to get their thing together. So the next thing you know, Duke gets a call, and she go over here to this hotel. Now, these girls is in the room. I guess Duke is out here pimping chicks too, honey. And she's basically demonstrating how she was doing the blowjob on the guy and saying which way she was doing it and how she was doing it and all of this. And they like, yo, Duke is basically like, get to the damn point. You know, the girl keep interrupting her. She like, would you stop letting her interrupt and, you know, stop interrupting her and let her tell the damn story. What the hell exactly happened? Who came in here and robbed you? So they were saying it looked like it was a setup. It seemed to be planned. She was like, he basically kicked in the door and was like, get your ass down on the ground. You know, one of the other girls was like, he didn't do that. And she was like, you wasn't here, so how the hell you going to say what he didn't do? You know, she asked what kind of gun it is. They was like, maybe it's a Glock. I know what a Glock looked like. And then she was like, so they took all the money. You know, basically they robbed them. So she was like saying, did y'all see the car? Anything more specific that y'all could tell? Oh, he wore, you know, yellow underwear. It was like, how the hell is that going to help, you know? So, you know, the white chick or whatever that was there, she basically was saying it was a black car. And she was like, was it a Nissan? She was like, yeah, I think it could have been a Nissan. She was like, did it have a Heat logo? She was like, mm-hmm. So whatever it is, I guess Duke have an idea. So then they asking, like, how we going to get paid, Duke? And she's just looking. So I was like, this just ain't her day, okay? Everything is going wrong. So, you know, we have Sean where the guy Maurice comes over to her house or whatever, and he's laughing because it was like, you know, a piece of wig or whatever thrown on the couch. And he was like, I thought that was a person that was sitting there. And so he was like, Dad, you live right around the corner from my auntie. I didn't even realize you lived here. He was like, how long you been here? She was saying she been there a year. So he was like, you know, what was so urgent? And she was like, I needed a re-up. You know, I got student loans, rent, and all of that. So she obviously does the credit cards with them. When she was saying she had the leak, I guess that's her little code word for it. So he had basically came and, you know, gave her the money. Then she was asking if he wanted to see her room. And he was like, oh, sure. He was like, oh, wow, okay, this is cool. He was like, for some reason, I thought you would have had your walls painted all black. And she was like, what's that supposed to mean? And he was like, nothing. And so he was looking and he see the equipment she bought. He like, oh, you got an SM78. She was like, well, how the hell you know about that? What you know about it? And he was like, I know some shit. And he was like, so that's what you over here spending up, you know what I'm saying, money on or whatever. So she also was telling him how her and Mia's doing the music and how it's something different and they looking for, you know, productions now and all of that kind of stuff. And so he was like, I see why you needed that extra bread. So she said, well, I'm shocked you came through so quick or whatever. And he was like, I told you I'm Mr. Fix-It or whatever. So he was like, you know, you welcome. So she says that she doesn't want to be doing this too much longer, okay? It's not something she planned on doing for a long time, but she do need the money right now. And so far, it doesn't seem to be that hard. I said, okay, Sean, slow down, okay? Don't get caught up into this, honey. So nonetheless, he was like, you know, if you need anything else, let me know. I'll keep doing the dirty work. So she was like, okay. You know, and pretty much that's how she got that. But yet you see she still ain't paid for that boyfriend to come over and visit her, honey. She said, you better be happy with that video I gave you. So we get Duke pulling up and, you know, she have a chick that's coming down to her. Her and Mia have been texting back. So Mia had just finished texting her, thank you, when, they have been texting back and forth. So she had just finished texting her thank you as the chick get in the car. Then she come and give her some money. So she seems to be the only one that's on top of her job that's actually giving, Duke actually some money that she can really use, right? Where the numbers, I guess, look right. And she's saying her thing went good. So she was telling her, you need to let them bitches go. And Duke was like, how I'm going to do that and do what? Start over? And she was like, well, shit, why not? She was like, you ain't winning with them. They ain't doing nothing. They ain't got no ambitions. They ain't going nowhere in that whole thing, right? And so Duke started asking her, have she heard of any of Mia music? And she was like, I guess. She was like, well, what you think about it? She was like, I don't think nothing about it. She was like, why, you planning on recruiting her? What you thinking about it for? She was like, all she do is talk shit, and I could do that. And so Duke was basically like, I see. So she was like, you thinking about recruiting her? She was like, shoot, maybe that is a good idea. Maybe you could replace loose pussy Jasmine. So she was like, I don't know, maybe something like that, right? So we see that the wheels is turning in her head, and maybe she's thinking about trying to ask her about being a manager or something like that, right? And then they just go ahead and they drive off. So we see that the guys, Maurice and like I said, don't know whether this is his friend, his cousin, or whatever. They packing up stuff that's, supposed to be getting mailed out and shipped out different places. Stuff that they, I guess, supposed to resell. And they, like, make sure that you don't put, double in there again like you did the last time. And everything is going which way it's supposed to. So he asked Maurice, like, how long you been running these cars with this girl? He said about 3-4 months. And then he asked, do he trust her? And he like, hell no, man. I don't trust none of these bitches, okay? So I'm not sure, if he really mean that or what he was, well, not, but that's what he told him. And then he said he was going to go ahead and take, the stuff out to the car, right? So that's what they doing. I don't know if they going to get caught, honey. So then we see that Lamont did come over, he's listening to the music that Mia and Sean made. And he's basically just, I guess, fixing up the beat, right? Using the synthesizer, fixing up the beats, giving them some more bass line and all of that kind of stuff. And, trying to make it sound even better. But he like, yo, this is good. Y'all did a good job. This is better than what I was expecting. He was like, all right now. So she was like, you done? And he was like, yeah, check this out. So when he started playing it for them, they all basically vibing to it. Like, okay, yeah, I could work with this. We got a little hit on our hands all right now. You know what I'm saying? We up in here. They all start dancing to it. So, Sean seemed to be really amazed at, the little touch-ups that he did on it or whatever. And she was like, wow, this is for real. So, Lamont basically was saying thank you to them or whatever. And Sean was just like, oh my God, damn, I can't believe this. And then they all was like singing it or whatever the case may be. So I guess this is going to be like they first single out, okay? Officially done. So then we seeing, Duke talking to Mia over, FaceTime. And she's saying how she heard a piece of what she did on the song and it sound good, it sound raw. And, Mia like, yeah, this has been good so far. You know what I'm saying? I'm liking where it's going. So she was like, well, what are y'all going to do with the song? She like, I don't know. I'm leaving it up to Shauna because she's more experienced in this. She knows what's what. And so here go Duke. I know a lot of people. Let me help y'all out. I could get this right in front of people. So she was like, well, you going to help us out for free? And she was like, yeah, but as your manager. So I knew she was going some kind of way, want to be promoter, manager, something. She telling her, me and you go way back. I got you. I've been one of the first ones to say that you had it and that you was a star and all of that kind of stuff. So she was like, I'm just saying, I'm just shooting my shot. I'm just throwing it out there on some real shit. You already know that I got a vision for you. So she was like, let me know what you think about that. So I'm guessing that Lamar is going to be their producer. Duke is going to be their manager. And they about to be this, duo rap group. And come on out with this song and start working on the album. I don't know, y'all. What do y'all think about this? Because Duke ain't got her stuff together, honey. All right, Duke got some issues. Really, they all do, to be honest. But, Duke is, like, is she trying to get out the pimp game? Or is she trying to be a pimp, promoter and a manager all in one? Okay, and with Lamont, is he realizing that maybe he gonna have to start producing for some people on his own and getting paid for them directly as opposed to waiting around for these, music execs or whoever he been dealing with, because that's not going to be paying regularly, and is he going to have to call that number that his mama gave him and get a legit regular job, okay? These is the things that we want to know. But that was episode 3, y'all. Tell me how you feel about it, what you liked, what you didn't like, and all of that stuff. Let's discuss. Put it in the comments. Till next time. Toodaloo.